Welcome to SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. Today, it's number 24 Boston College taking on number 6 Missouri. This is a sellout at Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri, in a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Packed crowd. Boston College is playing in an SEC stadium for the first time since 1988. A hot start with a great quarterback. And here come the Mizzou Tigers. They've been terrific at home this year, and they've won 18 straight against non-conference competition dating back to 2017. That's Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Taylor Zarzour. Alyssa Lang is on the field. We are pumped to be here. It is the only ranked versus ranked game in all of college football today. Terrific start for both schools.
Yeah, and this is Judgment Day. Both of these programs are going to be able to validate, are they a top 25 football team? Both come into this game 2-0, but are they proven? FSU, no longer a ranked football team for Boston College. This should be a fantastic matchup and one that could kind of set the course for the balance of the season.
I'll tell you what we do know. Both quarterbacks are terrific. Thomas Castellanos and Brady Cook have been great for both squads, starting with Castellanos for BC.
Yeah, last week, Castellanos got into the passing game more, was nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in the air, was able to stretch the ball downfield, but he's most dangerous with the ball in his hands as a runner. And boys, he got the attention of the Missouri defensive staff.
And then you've got Brady Cook, who's been doing the same thing, throwing it and running it.
Dual threat and has probably more dangerous weapons on the outside, but when he needs to call his own number, he can. The QB designed run, very much a prominent part of the Missouri offense. They know they got to get Brady Cook some carries just so he can get in that kitchen, start cooking it up.
I love that celebration. Yeah. Let Brady cook. You see the rushing touchdowns for number 12. Castellanos last year was terrific, doing the same thing he's doing this year, and his head coach, Bill O'Brien, is standing by with Alyssa.
Coach, when it comes to this Missouri defense, what was your message to Thomas ahead of this one?
One play at a time. Very athletic defense, put a lot of pressure on you, play a lot of man coverage. It's a great challenge for us today. We understand that. We got to take advantage of our opportunities to play one play at a time.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back as a head coach in college football for the first time in over a decade. A win at Florida State last week at home against Duquesne. But it's a tougher test today because this guy's got the best home winning percentage ever at Mizzou. Overall 30-21, 11-win season last year, and a Cotton Bowl victory for Eli Drinkwitz. Second meeting between these two teams today. 3 years ago, Boston College beat his Missouri Tigers 41-34 in overtime up in Chestnut Hill. Great game that went down to the wire. How about this? The first non-conference matchup between two top 25 teams here since 1980 when Missouri beat Penn State and some quarterback named Todd Blackledge.
That's right, old Ledge out here mixing it up. Well, the fans in this town are ready for this game. They are very hyped for the home team. They feel like they've got one of the better squads in the country. They get to prove it versus a team that's got a top 10 victory already this season in Boston College. Should be a really fun matchup.
Missouri won the toss and deferred. Boston College will receive, so we'll see Thomas Castellanos and that BC offense very early in this game. Blake Craig will kick off for Mizzou. Look at this place.
The kicking team changed his number to 84. 0 on the kicking team to 84.
Hear the voice of Mike Roche and our ACC officiating crew today. It's a 9th straight sellout at Faurot Field. That's the longest streak since 1979. Jaden McGowan, you might remember him from Vanderbilt. That goes over his head. BC starts at the 25. Let's take a look, Stench, at today's Fubo TV keys to the game.
Well, one of the strengths for Boston College is they feel their lines of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. But when Missouri does have the ball, you got to make them earn it. They've lacked explosive plays, which is a key for that Tiger offense. They got to blow the lid off of a defense, and defensively for the Tigers, they better contain Castellanos, who is on the field now. That guy can take a broken play and break it, take it all the way to the house.
6 touchdowns on just 26 attempts. It's the second best number in all of college football, and he's going to throw on the first play. He rolls out. Instead, he'll run, and he'll get 7 yards. It's sort of an option look, isn't it? You usually see the old wishbone in the backfield option look. He's got an option run to pass look.
Yeah, just about every play. Whenever the snap goes to number 1 for Boston College, he's got the run-pass option. That's the oldest version of a run-pass option. Move the pocket, allow him to tuck and run. He actually had an opportunity with Lewis Bond on the backside.
He averages 5.7 yards per carry. He ran for 7 there. Hands this time to Kai Robichaux, who gets stoned right at the line, but it's enough to move the chains. Chuck Hicks on the tackle. Robichaux, the senior from Columbus, Georgia, was terrific a couple weeks ago in Tallahassee, 85 yards rushing in that game.
He's the big back. So Boston College, what they did to FSU, they put the Seminoles in the rock tumbler. They just ran the football over and over again. Robichaux is the hammer. He's the guy that they're going to give it to downhill.
Trayshawn Ward is in there with him. Option again for Castellanos, and he gets 8 yards on first down. This is why all head coaches that play against this guy are terrified of number 1.
Well, look at all that backfield motion. You effectively have what's like a mesh. You hear the mesh talking about in the passing game. You've got a mesh in the backfield. You've got those 2 wings in the backfield. Who does he hand it off to? Instead, he keeps it. You mentioned the option earlier. Truly an option play with number 1 today.
Junior from Waycross, Georgia, started his career at UCF. It's been awesome at Boston College these last couple of years. Robichaux again falls forward for a yard. It'll be 3rd and short. Joseph Charleston came up to make the tackle.
Great job getting downhill quickly. Robichaux, we mentioned, he's a hammer, but he's got to get his legs going if you can get to him before the line of scrimmage.
Castellanos keeps it, and he slides ahead. Kept his balance and got up to the 49-yard line for a first.
That's the one thing. You can't allow them to get to 3rd and manageable. That run's still a legit threat. Castellanos able to maintain it just long enough. Well, if you don't get that shoestring tackle, he takes that one all the way, bangs his head on that stone M in the end zone.
Mizzou head coach Eli Drinkwitz says that Castellanos reminds him of Kyler Murray back in his Oklahoma days. Of course, Kyler now with the Arizona Cardinals. Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson had prolific ACC numbers just like Castellanos has had. BC hasn't committed many penalties this year.
Yeah, as Logan Taylor, it looked like, at left guard. He did not start versus FSU. Was able to get some snaps in last week versus Duquesne. You know, environment's a big thing in this game. This is a loud place to play with these in.
Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Was at Virginia last year at left tackle, now playing left guard for Boston College and Bill O'Brien. Coach O'Brien, 2-0 start at his dream school. Terrific run at Penn State with the Houston Texans. Assistant coach for Bill Belichick at the Patriots, and Nick Saban for Alabama. But growing up in Andover, Mass, he dreamed of being the head coach for BC. Trayshawn Ward leaves the backfield. Castellanos over the middle. That's almost intercepted. He threw it right at Chuck Hicks. Bounced off of him, and Christian Williams looked like he had a chance at it too.
Yeah.
That's a lucky incompletion.
He came all the way to his over-the-ball option right there. Would have been a first down. Castellanos is about 5'9". He's not a big guy. There's a very real chance there's a lot of tip balls in this game if, in fact, the read comes over the middle of the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 15. Time for Castellanos, goes low, and that's incomplete. Looking for Kamari Morales.
Morales insisting that he made that catch. The official saying it skipped to him. He was a very important target in the North Carolina offense. Castellanos with time, great protection. That ball is just low. Hard to tell on that second look if, in fact, looked like maybe his right hand was underneath it. The headline judge coming in there saying no.
Instead, it's 3rd and 15. Robichaux is back there with Castellanos. Mizzou flushes him out. Completed ball up to the 50 to Jaden Skeet, but he's well short of the first down.
A really big penalty on the false start. It gets Boston College behind in the down and distance. You heard from Coach O'Brien earlier, there's a flag on the play late on this one.
Personal foul. Legal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty to be added to the end of the run. First down.
That is massive. It goes against Chris McClellan. Mizzou's had trouble with penalties this year, but this is their first defensive penalty of the year.
Yeah, right there in the middle of your screen. It was working against Drew Kendall. And it was not a brief visit to Kendall's face. He got up there and hung around for a while. That was a face massage. Easy call for the official and unnecessary. That's the first defensive penalty on Missouri all season long. The offense has been plagued. They bail out Boston College there.
It's Turbo Richard, the freshman in the backfield next to Castellanos, and he gets the football. And Turbo, with one of the great names in college football, gets ahead to the 32-yard line. They've had 4 different guys run for over 80 yards in their first 2 games. And this is the deepest an opponent has been in Mizzou territory all year. In the first 2 games, Mizzou gave up no points, and no one got past the 33-yard line. Boston College is at the 32 right now.
And we talked about coming in. This is a judgment kind of a game. Can you validate? Missouri defense has been stout. This is by far their biggest test.
Tigers also haven't given up a point in 11 quarters. Castellanos looking downfield, still looking. And on the backside, he gets the completion for a first down to Ward. Just sitting there near the Mizzou bench, uncovered.
You mentioned Kyler Murray. He's not near as refined of a passer, but it's not just the scramble game, it's extending plays. Didn't like what he had downfield. The protection actually held up for quite some time. Maybe could have scrambled up and through, instead found Ward, who is an excellent receiver, at the running back spot.
First red zone trip against Mizzou this season. Boston College has been good in here. They're 7 for 9 with 7 touchdowns. Castellanos in a muddy pocket. Somehow outrushes the defense to the bench, but it's a loss on the play. That was Corey Flagg, who's been great at linebacker so far this year, flushing him out, and Flagg gets credited with a sack too.
Just shy of the original line of scrimmage. And Castellanos has got great wheels, but Corey Flagg did an excellent job of closing. So far, you can see not the comfort zone for Boston College in the passing game.
Zion Young and Tristan Newsom also there in coverage on what is the 12th play of the drive, 2nd and 12. And the handoff goes to Trayshawn Ward as McClellan clogs up the gap. Eli Drinkwitz said this is where he's seen the biggest growth with his team. Interior defensive line play has been great. There's something to consider here on this 3rd and 10, Stitch. Boston College has not kicked a field goal yet this year. And if they do, Luca Lombardo will be attempting a field goal for the first time in his life. Something to think about on this 3rd and 10. Castellanos gets rid of it, and it's caught. And it's near a first down, just short. Jaden Skeet. Wow, that looked dangerous for a while for Boston College. Skeet makes the catch. Now it's 4th and short. And what does Bill O'Brien elect to do here?
It looks like he's going to go. And on that one, Castellanos, he had a safety valve. Robichaux was open, leaking out of the backfield, but he was working to the left side. Excellent opportunity for this Missouri defense. They thought they had Boston College off the field earlier, and a penalty bailed them out.
BC needs the Mizzou 8 to move the chains. Plenty of time, end zone, touchdown! Jerron Bradley with the grab, and Boston College strikes first.
The size of Jerron Bradley, 6'5". This is something that the coaches noted, working against Toriano Pride, transfer from Clemson. That is the exact play that they were concerned about, a box-out throw. It's like pulling down a rebound.
And the extra point by Lombardo, he has kicked plenty of these, is up and good. You have to go to the beginning of the Cotton Bowl to find the last time the Missouri Tigers gave up any points. Pitched 2 shutouts to start the season, but Boston College marches down the field and converts. Touchdown BC to start the game. It is a beautiful campus, Columbia, Missouri. You need to check it out. They call it Como, filled with great food options. None better than Bud's. Shout out to Bud's, and they always take care of us. Jason and his crew.
Outstanding. You got to learn to pace yourself in a place like that.
Yes, you do. Lombardo kicks to Manning, and Joshua fields it at the 4. Fakes the handoff, and he's down at the 19-yard line. Coach Drinkwitz has had to deal with penalties this year. It's the first thing he mentions when he talks about what he wants to do better from the first 2 games. His offense has committed 17 penalties. His defense just committed the first of the season, and it cost them a touchdown.
Yeah, ironically, maybe the most costly among those penalties. Another 50 yards, 7 plays, and a touchdown after that one.
This is one of the best quarterbacks in Missouri history. Certainly by statistics. Brady Cook swings one out, and it's incomplete. Weiss thinking about the run after the catch. But Cook passed Blaine Gabbert for 6th all-time in school history last week in passing yards, and he's just 26 away from passing Jeff Handy for 5th. I wonder if we should talk more about what Brady Cook has done at quarterback for Mizzou.
His importance is not lost on this football team. Not just as a passer, but as a runner. Certainly the focal point of the offense.
Great point, over 1,000 career rushing yards as well. Luther Burden leaves the backfield, and it's a quick strike down to Brett Norfleet, who's back after some shoulder issues. Sophomore makes the grab there.
Well, so much has been made about the lack of explosive plays. Only 6 plays on offense of 20 yards or more. Coaches feel like Norfleet's presence will help open up the downfield throws by occupying the underneath throws.
3rd down for Mizzou. BC's one of the best in the country with 3rd down defense. Cook swings it out, and the catch is made. A good one by Nate Noel. Great grab, straddling the sideline near his teammates, and he moves the chains.
That's interesting. They empty the backfield, get Noel out there on the edge. Not really known as great pass catchers. Now the running backs getting involved.
And now A fake and almost picked off. Wow, what a play there by Amari Jackson. Jackson had his hands on it 2 different times and almost took it into the end zone.
A near miss, another tip ball. We thought we saw a tip ball for an interception earlier when BC had the ball. Jackson did a great job, so he triggers early, knows he's not going to get there. You might as well jump and get your hands up. Almost made the self-assist.
Had a pick 6 last year in the Georgia Tech game. Here's Nate Noel going off. And the new starting tailback for Mizzou gives the Tigers a fresh set of downs up to the 46. It's a gain of 13.
This is a really good stretch zone offense, meaning they all step the same direction. They're trying to stretch a defense laterally until the crease pops open. And Nate Noel does a great job of being patient. He presses the direction that the play's supposed to originate, then gets his foot in the ground, darts upfield.
Came over from App State. Of course, Cody Schrader was terrific last year. And now Noel and Marcus Carroll are in to pick up the load in the backfield. Cook wants to take a shot, and he's got an open receiver inside the 40. That's Mookie Cooper, his 84th career catch.
Just so steady. We're talking with offensive coordinator Kirby Moore. And he's just saying, look, he's a guy that we can always rely upon. So you go heavy play action. Safety is playing deep, triggers late. Plenty enough time for Brady Cook to fit that one in there to Mookie Cooper.
17-yard grab for the graduate player from St. Louis. And the Tigers are at the BC 37. Back to the ground, Noel. That's another first down run inside the 25.
Really well blocked. You know, so earlier we saw Noel stick his foot in the ground, get upfield. This time, pressing it all the way to the outside. Left side of the offensive front, big Marcus Bryant, Caden Green, just eating it up. That time they sent KP Price, the safety, down to try to force the run.
Convert the first down and then a 13-yard run, a 17-yard pass, a 13-yard run. Tigers are rolling now. Noel had over 3,000 yards rushing in his 4 years at Appalachian State. Actually was recruited by Eli Drinkwitz when Drink was the coach there. Cook will take off. He can do this too. But good closing tackle there made by KP Price.
They like what they have in Price. Safety comes up, not just a force and coverage, but a guy that can come up and run support. You saw in the previous play, they sent him downhill to try to set the edge. He got gobbled up. This time, nice read to get upfield on the quarterback power. Brady Cook can tuck it whenever. You see that rush defense among the best in the country for BC, only 40 yards a game.
See those trips, those 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Here comes Norfleet in motion. Cook's looking at him, throws it to him, and he's down at the 21. Arnold with the tackle.
Cam Arnold's got some good range at linebacker. Came to BC as a corner, moved him to safety. Ate his way down to the box as a linebacker, but didn't lose that closing speed and hung with big Brett Norfleet, who is a giant human being. Cam Arnold did a good job getting the big body on the ground to force his 3rd and long.
By the way, Brady Cook just passed Jeff Handy for 5th all time in Mizzou passing yardage. It's a 3rd and 7 for Cook. He's converted 1 3rd down. He has Jamal Roberts in the backfield. He's in trouble, dumps it off to him and misses him, feeling that pressure that was applied there by Donovan Ezeraku, and it's 4th down.
I think we busted in the protection that time. Ezeraku's coming up from the top of your screen. It's kind of a double barrel blitz, confused at left tackle, right? Marcus Bryant had his eyes inside, gave him a free run at the backside of his quarterback.
The 38-yard attempt by Blake Craig, made his first 4, missed his last 2. And Missouri is on the board. We expected a terrific football game today, and that's what we've gotten so far in Faurot Field.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Jerseys. Phil Bradley right there with the football against the Penn State Nittany Lions back in 1980. I'd love a Todd Blackledge shot if we could find one of our guy Ledge on a beautiful day here at Faurot Field. Great to see the ACC and the SEC playing against each other. Seen it already 6 times. We have it twice today. We've got it here. Also have it in Winston-Salem where the Ole Miss Rebels playing the Deacs. Alabama's off to a lead against Wisconsin 14-3. Memphis leads FSU 10-0. And LSU leads South Carolina 17-0. We'll keep you posted on all of that coming up here during this game where it's 7-3 BC.
Welcome back to Columbia, Missouri, where Boston College has a 7-3 lead on the home team. Guys, I've been watching Boston College quarterback Thomas Castellanos for the last few minutes since that touchdown drive. He immediately came off the field, ran over to the Missouri student section, and they were making their feelings about each other very known. He's extremely fired up to be here and to have taken an early lead. Coaches told us this week they knew they'd have to get off to a fast start. The entire staff preaching to this team, one play at a time, and one of Bill O'Brien's mantras is be where your feet are. This team is right now.
Good stuff. Alyssa Castellanos will keep it, and he'll give himself up at the 27. And for Alyssa and everyone else that's watching, it's South Carolina 17, LSU nothing early in the game. We'll get all those updates when we go around the league here and around the country as the game continues. Here, the Eagles and Bill O'Brien off to the 7-3 start. Just how much does this entire program benefit from his leadership and experience at every level of football? Castellanos, that was a wide throw. He was looking for Jaden Skeet, and Skeet was covered up.
Yeah, Skeet's got to run through this route. Skeet did not come out of that break. His quarterback's counting on him to run through this throw. So what Missouri is doing is they're basically filling up the inside run game and forcing Boston College to the perimeter and to their pass game. 3rd and long is not a comfort zone.
That ball is closer to Dalen Carnell, the Missouri defender, than it was to Skeet. And it's 3rd and 8. All day into traffic, and a flag is in. Toriano Pride was on the coverage.
The head linesman on the near sideline that threw it, though. The attempt was towards the middle of the field. I don't know if it was the coverage on Lewis Bond that drew this flag. But you could see Missouri content to leave him in the pocket.
Pass interference on the defense. Ball replaced to the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
It's only rushing 3. So Missouri's saying, look, we'll leave you in the pocket.
Pass interference was on number 2 of the defense.
Yeah. So the head linesman threw this flag. Toriano Pride just comes over the top. They're saying he got there early to break up that pass.
Both penalties this year have come in this stadium today on 3rd downs. The last one led to a touchdown. And the option, it's Ward. If you remember the name, Mizzou fans, he played for Kansas State last year in that epic game between these two schools. 46 yards rushing and 61 yards receiving in that game for K-State. He was terrific against Florida State in the first week of the season, Stitch.
So the reason why they're having to go outside is you see these 3 big guys are covering up the interior of that Boston College offensive front. They're basically saying from the B gap to the B gap, from the guard tackle gap to the other side, you're going to have to get the ball outside.
2nd and 5. And Ward is near a first down. Over 2,000 rushing yards for Florida State and K-State with 18 touchdowns. And he was the ACC running back of the week against the Seminoles in that Week 1 win.
Really versatile talent in Ward, and one that Missouri's very familiar with. As you mentioned, they saw him before when we were here last, back when he was with K-State. We've already seen him with a catch today. You see the 61 receiving yards to go with his 77 rushing yards versus the Seminoles.
And on 1st and 10, he looks for more, and he gets up near midfield. And I have to tell you, I'm having some serious deja vu right now. It was Week 3 last year when Mizzou played K-State. It was overcast skies. K-State had the lead most of the game. Who knows, maybe it'll play out that way. Maybe we'll have another 61-yard field goal at the end.
I don't know that Harrison Mevis for Missouri is in the building anymore. We'll have to find somebody else. Drinkwitz got to be frustrated. Had this Boston College offense bottled up a couple of times, only to have penalties let him out.
The end of the first quarter, Castellanos will take off, and he's in Mizzou territory. It will be 3rd down when the second quarter starts for the Boston College Eagles.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Taking advantage of some Mizzou penalties and capitalized in the first 15 minutes. Welcome back to SEC Network College Football, presented by Allstate. Down to the field, and Alyssa.
Coach, you said you had to get off to a fast start. What'd you make of that first drive?
Yeah, I think these guys are doing a good job. I think it's a very long game, and you know, we've really got to keep this mentality of one play at a time. We got to play clean football and, you know, keep kind of matriculating it down the field. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
7-3 BC. They have the ball. It's 3rd and 4 in Missouri territory. They run it with Robichaux, and he gets inches. Barely made any forward progress, and it'll be 4th down.
Great job by the Missouri defense. Defensive coordinator Corey Batoon said, I got to be smart. What I don't want is to allow Castellanos to get on the outside.
Moving on the field, the run is forward. Progress was stopped before the ball became loose. It'll be 4th down.
And now Boston College is going to be using a backup punter. This is Sam Stone, who is the redshirt freshman from Austin, Texas. Sam Candotti, their typical punter, is out today. Stone off the side of his foot. Well, let's go back to 2021, the only time these two teams have played. Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker, was so good from 50 plus, and he sent it to overtime as the game expired in regulation. Then Zach Flowers' 10-yard reception from Dennis Grossell. Brandon Sebastian's interception sealed the win. Boston College stormed Chestnut Hill and beat Mizzou, Alyssa.
It was something that Coach Drinkwitz talked to us about yesterday. It wasn't just the loss, guys, but it was everything leading up to the loss. Some of the comments that he regrets making and giving this BC team bulletin board material that then was used for weeks to come. He called it one of the lowest points of his coaching career, giving them that ammunition.
Cook hands to Noel, and Noel is seeing daylight every time he touched the football. He's up near the 38. That's a 16-yard pickup. Back to what Alyssa was saying. Eli Drinkwitz was talking about playing a game in an area that he doesn't recruit in the great state of Massachusetts. And certainly, as he looks back on it, never wanted to give them any sort of bulletin board material. Boston College immediately mentioned that they won in the great state of Massachusetts in overtime. By the way, Mizzou plays at UMass next month. For all you New Englanders, Noel, doesn't matter which way he goes, Stinch, he's going forward each time.
So wide zone to the right, wide zone to the left. They'll run it to the tight end side. They're running it to the open side. And right now, the offensive front by Missouri doing a great job of capturing the edge and collapsing it upfield. Good job by these running backs. Nate Noel able to get downhill quickly. You can see he's got a good feel for that zone run scheme.
4 carries, 47 yards. He goes out. Marcus Carroll comes in, and Carroll is no different than Noel, at least so far this year. He's right at a first down marker. And it's a good enough to move the chains. He too is a Sun Belt transfer, Stinch. He comes over from Georgia State, where he ran for over 1,300 yards last year and 13 touchdowns.
Well, the challenge for Boston College. So we saw it a couple of times when Missouri was headed towards the red zone. They started getting their safety involved in run support. But when you look at the perimeter weaponry that Missouri has, that opens up a shot in the passing game.
Cook. One-on-one ball to Weiss. Off his hand. Amari Jackson was with him.
That's a couple now to Weiss. We've seen 2 targets where he hasn't been able to come up with it. The most targeted receiver coming into this game. Well, Missouri's only 1 of 11 this season in throws of 20 yards or more downfield.
Coach Drinkwitz will mention the penalties and the lack of explosive plays and where he wants to see the most improvement. Carroll again bangs his way down to the 48. Cam Arnold, another tackle. The graduate player from Bloomfield, Michigan, coached by Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator for Missouri, Kirby Moore, was telling us yesterday that he's looking at XFL footage to try to determine how Tim Lewis is going to call this game defensively, because Tim was coaching in the XFL the last couple of years. 3rd and 6 here, Stinch. Cook over the head of his intended target, Cooper, and it's 4th down.
They motioned Luther Burden from one side of the formation to the opposite side, but once again, to end a drive, the protection just does not hold up for Missouri in the passing game. You think about the last drive, they're moving the football downfield, big chunk plays, and it was a pressure off the left side of that Missouri offensive front. Again, this time from the right side.
Luke Bauer to punt, Cameron Martinez back. And Martinez, a fair catch at the 14-yard line. Boston College has the football. They're up 7-3 in the SEC. Mizzou defense has been terrific with new defensive coordinator Corey Batoon. There are all the rankings you just saw coming into the game today. And there's the coach's box for Mizzou today. Corey is there with the glasses right in front of us. Last 3 years at South Alabama, spent time at Ole Miss, Montana, FAU, Hawaii, in his home state where he's from. Blake Baker, of course, was the defensive coordinator last year. He went to LSU, and Batoon has been terrific so far, but has his hands full with Thomas Castellanos today. Boston College quarterback throws sidearm down near the 30. And it's incomplete. Jerron Bradley was trying to make the grab there, and he thinks he did.
So Bradley coming all the way across the field.
Pass, 2nd down.
Yeah, the ball definitely moved. Good job by the officials on the field. Got to survive the ground to complete the catch. You see him move that pocket early. And you can see the Missouri defensive front. They will shift. When the center's not covered, they will shift to that heavy front, covering up those inside gaps.
A handoff to Ward. It'll be 3rd down for Mizzou, or for Boston College rather, at their own 18-yard line.
You can see Boston College trying to get something going between the tackles. It has been slow going. 3rd down and 6, we've seen Boston College, they've had to get bailed out on these 3rd and obvious passing downs. Have not seen anything in the screen game so far in this one.
Wide open throw and a 1st down throw past the 30 to Lewis Bond. That's Castellanos' favorite target so far this year. And the junior from Chicago picks up 15.
Too easy that time. They have Bond going back and forth in motion. Excellent protection, as it has been all game. That's one of the things coming in where you have to be so judicious about how you go about Castellanos. You don't necessarily want to move him off the mark.
Castellanos and Bond have a terrific relationship. That ball's on the ground. Castellanos gets rid of it, and wide open, Reed Harris is uncovered. That's a 67-yard touchdown. Typically, the offense is flustered by a bad snap. That time it was the defense.
The Boston College came out in a different formation, one they had not seen or shown. Then you have the bad snap, and it looked like the defense, I think they thought there was a procedure penalty. So watch, they just kind of let up. Goes. Meanwhile, Reed Harris and others, they just leak behind the coverage.
You said, and others. Jeremiah Franklin was just as open as he could have picked his.
Yeah, pick one.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. That previous play is under further review to see if the runner stepped out on his way to the end zone.
Harris's left foot
Yeah.
was very close to the sideline there, so we'll get another look at this. Replay official John Bush will take a look upstairs.
So you get the first down on third, right? Look, you come out, you're able to find Harris. That last step, is he out of bounds?
So it's the beginning of that shot there, but that
Yeah, hard to say.
That wouldn't be enough
Toe
to-
is, right?
that wouldn't be enough to overturn it.
He was ruled a touchdown on the field. That was a wild play. You come out, you've got two up backs. So it's a unique formation. That's got their attention defensively. Then the ball hits the ground.
Here's a better look.
A right heel maybe.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah.
It's a touchdown.
I think it would have had to have been his right foot actually if that right heel had come down. That was a crazy play. Definitely not how they drew it up.
Reed is believed to be the first ever player from Montana to play in the Atlantic Coast Conference. A 67-yard touchdown. And after a bad snap, a good hold, Lombardo puts it through. 14-3 BC with 9:44 to go in the second quarter. Boston College is up 14-3 because of some Missouri mistakes.
Unique formation. So here's Reed Harris right here. And it's a really condensed formation. Look at where your safety depth is. They're within like 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Harris just leaks out. The ball hits the ground. Everybody checks up. They're not thinking pass anymore. It's fumble recovery. And Harris just gets behind the coverage. That is not how you draw it up, but it almost couldn't have gone any better. You win the eyes of the safeties. Already it's a unique formation. They think, oh, the ball's on the ground. You come up and make a play. Instead, Castellanos, great heads-up play, great poise to not panic. Stand up, hit Harris out of the backfield. You don't expect that wide receiver to be lined up as an up back in the backfield.
You know, when I was watching football in the 1990s, watching Chris Doering make catch after catch, always thought he would go on to the National Football League and be successful there. I never thought that we'd be tossing it to him for him to provide the studio updates. Here he is, Chris Doering.
Thank you, TZ. Time for a studio update here. Alabama rolling up in Madison. Second touchdown pass of the day for Jalen Miller. This one to Jeremy Bernard. 21-3 at halftime, and Lenore Sellers, 75-yard touchdown down in South Carolina.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 28, 59 penalty, first down.
Well, that's a
Correction, receiving team. Penalty enforced half the distance to the goal to be first and
okay. Well, that's a
Missouri.
big difference. Instead of putting it at the 40, it's down back at the 10, and it goes on Charleston, and already some big penalties on Eli Drinkwitz's team today. Back to what they in Alabama up big, and South Carolina up 2 touchdowns on LSU. Chris will keep you posted on all that.
Unreal. Yeah, and you think about, so these penalties, these are big chunk penalties. This is 15 yards at a time. Pass interference, illegal hands to the face.
It's marked at the 13-yard line. Nate Noel in the backfield. Cook throws quickly. It's Weiss who turns and makes the catch. And Theo, who had 13 grabs last week against Buffalo, the most since TJ Moe at 15 in a game back in 2010, makes the second grab of the day. And one can only wonder, where's his running mate? Luther Burden III. We haven't seen number 3 involved yet.
Coming into this game, Taylor, he'd only touched the football 9 times. 2 carries, 7 receptions.
This handoff goes, it's a first down handoff to Noel. And it moves the chains up to the 26. Crouch on the tackle.
You know, Burden has been relatively quiet. Part of it's been a function. Left the game early last week, got his touchdown, got out of the game. He said he was dealing with some type of an illness.
It's in the slot right now on a 1st and 10. Sprint out for Cook, throws, there he is, past the 40, straddling the sideline, and that's the biggest passing play of the year for Missouri.
Well, right on cue. Nearly intercepted. Brady Cook had to layer this throw in. Watch Davis trying to climb the ladder, tips the ball. Great concentration by Luther Burden to haul that in. Finally, the explosive play they've been looking for.
And that was a 45-yard completion. And it's Noel again who gets a couple of yards. Cook went over 7,000 career passing yards on the longest completion of the year. And good observation by you. Davis was so close to getting that football.
We've seen a couple of tips that were near misses. That one didn't go the other way. We saw earlier with Amari Jackson, Chuck Hicks, 3 tip balls. This time, all of them have resulted in favorable results anyway for the offense.
Another handoff to Noel. He got hit by Cam Arnold. Arnold's been everywhere so far. It is an 8-yard run for Noel there.
Stuck.
Yeah,
that was Max Tucker.
It was Max Tucker.
Really, I mean, Cam Arnold's in on the tackle, and Max Tucker came in with the hit stick. Big shot, but Noel has been making hay on that zone.
Noel out, Carroll in. Carroll dives for the first down.
Good job, this Missouri offensive front. We thought that the lines of scrimmage were going to figure prominently in this game. Boston College really hasn't been able to get going on the ground.
But Missouri has, and Missouri is 11 for 11 in the red zone with 9 touchdowns, and the last 8 have become running. He wasn't ready for that. Cook was not ready for Connor Tollison to snap the ball, and Mookie Cooper had to come collect it. It's a loss of 6.
Yeah, you know, Cook, I don't know if Tollison thought he was signaling for the ball, but watch Cook. So he's looking over to Mookie Cooper. I think Tollison thought that he was signaling for the snap, and he's trying to start that motion. It looked like they were going to hand it or tap it to Mookie Cooper on a rocket sweep.
So now 2nd and 16. Cook tries to dump it off. It's deflected again, and that slowed Luther Burden down. And he's at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, it was, again, bringing that pressure right off the edge. Davion Crouch was able to get his hand up. A lot of tipped passes in this game. Watch Crouch get his hand up Cook's got pressure right there in his lap.
On 3rd and 14, Cook still has 10 seconds left on the play clock.
Similar pressure look that Boston College got home with on the first possession of the game.
Brady's under pressure. He gets out of there. And it's a wide throw. Cooper was open too.
And I think Brady Cook, when he looks at this play again, he's going to say, you know what? I got room to run, trust my legs instead of trying to throw across my body. Watch him get outside. You got a chance to just tuck it, try to get it upfield. Big physical runner. Instead, you're throwing across and against your body, rolling hard to your right. And Cooper, who's just standing there, could not bring it in.
And instead, another drive stalls, and Mizzou will attempt this field goal from 38 yards, exactly the distance that he connected on the first time. And this one also is true. The redshirt freshman from Kansas City has both field goals. It's 14-6 Boston College. Look at all this. Haven't played at an SEC stadium since 1988. Lost that game to Tennessee. Beat Alabama at Legion Field in Birmingham 40 years ago. They're 17-24-1 all time versus current SEC members. They haven't played in a ranked versus ranked non-conference game since losing to Ohio State in 1995. The last time they won a ranked versus ranked game, David Gordon, Glenn Foley, and BC beat Lou Holtz and Notre Dame in 1993 in South Bend, Indiana, and upset the whole national championship picture that year. Florida State went on to win it, even though they lost to Notre Dame. The Irish was all upset that they didn't get to play in it.
Bitter rivalry too in that game.
Thomas Castellanos is trying to pull it off today. His Eagles lead Mizzou 14-6 and have the football at their own 25-yard line. Detrell Jones bounced it out, and there's a flag down. Drayden Norwood was in the backfield with Jones, and every Mizzou fan saw some holding.
Oh yeah, this is the tried and true. Every defensive end, they love to do this. So Johnny Walker Jr.
Holding.
On the edge.
Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Really, this play is made by Christian Williams, who just gets great penetration right upfield. Well, watch Johnny Walker. Watch his right arm. Oh my gosh, he's holding me. He is holding me, ref.
Yeah, folks.
And know what he was.
Folks, that man that you're hearing right now is having some flashbacks. Matt Stinchcomb, college football Hall of Famer from Georgia, the Raiders and the Buccaneers. Sounds like he went through that a time or two. 1st and 20. Castellanos at his own 15. Throws into coverage, that's picked off. It's Trevez Johnson. Johnson back to the 25. Castellanos threw it right to him.
Well, that's what Bill O'Brien was saying they can't do. You gotta be smart, play by play. You get the big negative yardage play. You can't make it all back up just then. You don't have to. The protection is there. Missouri actually brings 5. He's trying to get it to Reed Harris. Trevez Johnson's just playing center field. So he's got his eyes on Castellanos right underneath the route. And it's as if, Missouri had that opportunity. So right back here on the plus side of the field.
Castellanos' his first interception of the season. Mizzou has 4 interceptions by 4 different players. And they're set up at the 25. It's Carroll spinning. What button does Drinkwitz call that on the video game?
He said that last week, right at the end of half. Did not like the spinning.
It's Noel,
like
not
either.
Carroll, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't like the spin either right here, though. You've captured the edge. Keep going and press it downhill.
trust us. It's either 8 or 9. It's 8. And he's down to the 19-yard line. Back into the red zone. They had to kick a field goal last time they were down here, and now it's a 3rd down again for Mizzou.
And we have not seen, we've seen one QB designed run in this game. It was earlier on in the first quarter, stymied by the safety coming down late. Let's see if they put it in the air.
3rd down back, Jamal Roberts joins Cook in the backfield.
There's Burden. Hash mark.
Cook's looking that way. First down ball! Touchdown ball! Luther Burden III.
Well, he's so dangerous. You see a little switch release, just enough to get out there. You got to try to rally. He's so good with the ball in his hands. And Mizzou's going to say, hey, look, let's tie this ball game up.
Let's go for Dos, brought to you by Dos Equis.
Well, the refs come in, so Missouri calls timeout. That's a very similar.
First time out of the half.
They ran that same play, the 3rd play of last week. They shift Cook out. They fake a little flip pass.
I've always wondered if you need more time on the play clock after a touchdown, because it seems like this happens frequently where cannons are going off, people are celebrating, and it takes you longer to get into your play call. There is another look at Burden, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season.
He just slammed on the old emergency brakes, spun out of there. He's like a running back with the ball in his hands. You're not going to bring him down. It's really difficult to tackle in the open field.
Has a catch in 25 straight. It's a 2nd team All-American last year. And for Brady Cook, Burden is a 1st team preseason All-America this year. Now, last time when they came out in this 2-point look, Noel was in Wildcat, and here he is again.
So Cook's at the top of your screen.
Fakes it to Cook. Touchdown, or 2-point, tie game.
Costly turnover. Think about that pick that was thrown earlier. You get the negative yardage play off a holding penalty. Castellanos tries to jam one in there, and Missouri, the defense, steps up, gives their offense a short field, and we got a tie ball game.
Well, you wanted to call this Stentz. Here's your chance.
It's the same. They ran the same play last week out of the same formation, similar look. They think like they're going to flip it to Cook, and instead they just cram it right down their throat. Bam! 2-point conversion.
First 27 minutes of game time today has really been about capitalizing on mistakes, right?
Yeah, you think about Missouri continually allowing Boston College off the hook, forcing 3rd downs, giving them these personal fouls, pass interference, extending plays, hands to the face. If that doesn't happen, and so far Missouri has been one of their own worst enemies.
Our Week 3 SEC football lineup continues today at 4:15 Eastern when Arkansas hosts UAB. And we cap the night with 7th-ranked Tennessee hosting Kent State and Knoxville at 7:45. You can find live sports with Where to Watch only on the ESPN app and ESPN.com, the ultimate viewing guide to live sports. Memphis leads Florida State 13-3 at halftime. Mike Norvell going up against his old team, and if his old team beats him, the Noles are 0-3. Meanwhile, South Carolina leads LSU 24-16 at the break, and Alabama's up 21-3 at Wisconsin. Castellanos goes down because Chuck Hicks was right there.
That time he felt like he maybe could pull it and leak out on the backside. Chuck Hicks did a great job of muddying that read up. And what they'll do sometimes is what's called a gap exchange. The defensive end will crash down, looks like it's a pull read, and boom, here comes the linebacker looping outside. That was a perfect defensive scheme versus that look.
Fires into traffic, a good ball, and near a first down to Jaden Skeet. There is a flag on the field.
Offside. Defense number 9 lined up in the neutral zone. That penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
You know, again, Taylor, you can see that Missouri obviously has to pick their spots with the pressure, but also Boston College has done a good job of holding up in protection. 4-man rush, a lot of one-on-one protection up there.
Boston College doesn't have to run a play here if they don't want. The 2-minute timeout is coming up in 3 seconds.
They're gonna get it off.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
This is what we expected, folks. A fair fight in Como on Faurot Field. Boston College was up early, but Mizzou strikes back 14 apiece with 2 to go in the first.
Hey everybody, Chris Doering, Benjamin Watson here in the SEC Network studio. Coming up at the Farm Ridge halftime report. The Tide is rolling in Madison. Down south in Willie B, it's a shootout. And in Missouri, man, what do you make of the Tigers?
Man, the defense hanging in there, getting that interception, which leads to 8 points. They tie the game up.
All right, TZ, looking forward to catching up with you guys at halftime. Peter Burns getting Wally pipped here in the studio.
I want Benjamin to do some of those updates too, CD. Castellanos gains a few, as it's 14 apiece here, just under 2 to go. Boston College does have all 3 of their timeouts. But just as a reminder, they have not tried a field goal yet this year. And Luca Lombardo has never kicked a field goal before. Castellanos throws, and on the sideline, that's a catch. Jaden Skeet just barely in bounds, hanging in over there. It picks up 10, Alyssa.
Things this coaching staff was hoping to learn about this Missouri defense was how they'd handle adversity. You guys talked about not having given up a point coming into this game. They're now in swing 8 territory. The final 4 minutes of the second, they got to play clean here.
Castellanos fires sidearm, and it's another good ball to Jaden Skeet. From the sidelines to the middle of the field, Skeet goes. It's 11 more.
Wow, that ball came out. I mean, he shot it right into a tight window, back-to-back completions.
Red Sox could use a side armor like that in the late innings. Castellanos from the 40. Again has an open receiver, but throws over Skeet's head. Second down.
You see Skeet, he's almost like, hey man, settle down. Yeah, again, had an opportunity. He had Robichaux in the flat. He's back out of the backfield. He's willing to take that versus FSU repeatedly. That was a point of emphasis for Missouri defensively, was the back out of the backfield. And then you see on the sideline, there's Jack Conley, usually starting right guard. Dwayne Alec in there at right guard on this series.
Alec's been playing left guard the last couple of weeks. Castellanos wants to take off, there's nowhere to go. You can't run up the middle on this Mizzou defensive front this year. Zion Young was waiting for him. And now Coach O'Brien, it was actually...
Missouri takes its second timeout of the half. The 30-second timeout.
Mizzou taking the timeout. Just a reminder, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Marching Mizzou on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. To Alyssa's report that she just gave a moment ago, Coach Drinkwitz loves to talk about explosive plays. He likes to talk about third down conversions, and that middle 8 is another massive factor he thinks in the game. I've heard a number of great players like Tom Brady say that through the year. The middle 8 is where a game can be won or lost. 14 apiece right now, and a reminder, Mizzou gets the ball first in the second half.
That's an area where Missouri had struggled. Weren't able to capitalize on that middle 8. Here at Boston College, they just want to extend this drive. They want to prevent yet another possession.
Castellanos drifts, throws, it's a wobbler. It looked like it was deflected. Zion Young made contact there with Castellanos. He's looking for Skeet again, and it's 4th down.
That's twice now we've seen in this game. Ball's getting batted down at the line of scrimmage. That time, though, is the backside Zion Young doing an excellent job getting his hand on Castellanos on his throwing hand right as he goes to throw it. Lucky that that ball wasn't stripped before his hand moved forward.
Okay, now another punter comes in for BC. This time it's Ivan Zavinko. He's the pooch punter. And the fair catch at the 8 by Daniel Blood. It's a great perch to be up here, Stench, to watch this game here at Faurot Field. We've seen some great battles through the years here. We saw Mizzou and K-State battle for 60 minutes last year, and it feels like the same thing all over again.
Yeah, you know, to see Missouri battle back into this game, right? Because they really a lot of self-inflicted wounds, extending drives, kind of a wacky play on the big pass to Harris. And then they battle their way back into this thing in an opportunity. Look, they're sitting on a couple timeouts. 46 seconds to play. Boston College, you left a little bit too much meat on this bone time-wise. Definitely wanted to extend that drive.
One timeout for Mizzou in 46 seconds, and Weiss makes a man miss. That's exactly what he's been doing all season. Leads the SEC in forcing missed tackles, and this one gives Mizzou extra yardage and a first down.
You see, throughout this first half, Boston College has said, look, we're going to try to keep you in front of us. We're going to rally to the ball and make tackles, but you're a broken tackle away. Already in a 2-minute drill, what do you want? That first down to jumpstart the drive.
Need about 35, 40 more yards to give Craig a reasonable chance. 18 on that first play. Here's a chunk to Carroll, and Marcus gets out of bounds up at the 33. 6 more.
As you mentioned, there's plenty of time. So you can just take bite-sized pieces of this offense, work your way down the field. You don't have to look for the big chunk play.
On 2nd and 4, Cook to Burton, trying to get to the sideline. He fumbles the ball. Now it'll be marked out. It'll actually have to come back to where the ball was fumbled instead of marking it
on the
out.
field is a forward fumble out of bounds. The ball be placed to the spot of the fumble. The game clock will start on my signal.
What a hit by Cam Arnold there. So the clock will run unless Drinkwitz wants to call his last time out here. And he does.
Game clock will start on my signal.
No, they signaled as if he had.
Well, now he changed his mind, and it's a first down run for Marcus Carroll past midfield. He wanted to get out of bounds. The clock does stop under 2 minutes for them to change the chains. That was a 17-yard pickup there. And Drinkwitz will hold on to that timeout with the clock running, though. Took Cook 7 seconds to get that off. Brady throws, catch made at the 39, and it's Joshua Manning that makes the tackle, and now Missouri will attempt a long field goal from a not so dissimilar spot as the one as Harrison Mevis attempted last year.
They definitely don't want to take a delay a game as they did for Harrison Mevis.
Final time out of the half.
But you can see, as you mentioned, about 7 seconds leaked off the clock before they got that snap off after they hung on to their timeout on the 3rd down conversion.
That's where they put this down. They marked it at the 38, so this will be between 55 and 56 yards for Blake Craig. It's officially 55. He's got a cannon for a leg. Missed from 49 and 52, but he's made from 51 this year. And he gives Mizzou the lead at the break. Well, like Alyssa said, you try to steal a possession, you just stole 3 points, and you get the ball first in the second half.
How huge that interception proved to be. Boston College was trying to play smart. They caught some breaks. They gave it the other way. Instead, couldn't convert on their drive. Mizzou gets just enough. Wow. Another weapon at place kicker here at Missouri. That thing had plenty of leg.
That too would have been good.
Oh,
from
yeah.
61, just like Nevis last year. Coach Drinkwitz and the Missouri Tigers ranked 6th in the country. What a battle with number 24, Boston College. They lead 17-14. Now it's time for the Farm Rich Halftime Report. Welcome back to SEC Network College Football, presented by Allstate in Columbia, Missouri. We've got a good one. Number 6 Mizzou leads number 24 Boston College 17-14. Competitive first 30 minutes. That's Matt. I'm Taylor. Alyssa in just a second. And that first half was about capitalizing on mistakes.
It really was. You think about the Boston College drives that were extended by penalties.
Yeah.
Boston College playing kind of conservatively, really, when you think about on the defensive side of the football. It was the turnover that really kind of broke this game for Missouri.
It did, and let's check out the good hands plays brought to you by Allstate.
You know, early on in this game, it felt as if Boston College would get all the breaks. A bad snap out of a weird formation. Missouri defense caught sleeping. Huge play. Excellent momentum for Boston College. You come back after a penalty, try to force one to the middle of the field. Trevez Johnson makes you pay with a pick. Then you get the ball to Luther Burden, your playmaker in space. He's so deadly with the ball in his hands. Next thing you know, you're a 2-point conversion away and a field goal from not only tying it up, but a lead to start the second half.
And the football, too. Bill O'Brien and Eli Drinkwitz. Lombardo to kick. Johnson and Burks are back deep. And Mizzou starts at the 25, Alyssa.
To piggyback off of something that Stinch said in the first half, these Missouri starters have not been in a rock fight in the second half of a football game yet this season. I caught up with Coach Drinkwitz coming out of the locker room, and I asked him what his emphasis was to the team. He said he just reminded them this is going to go to the fourth quarter. Take it one play at a time. Play clean football, and he added, we're about to see if our conditioning is going to hold up in this one, guys.
And to your point, he has play for championships written everywhere throughout the football facility. If you're going to do that, you have to beat good teams like Boston College. Build that resume. Cook will start with Noel behind him. And Nate's been running well today at 66 yards rushing in that first half. Curry Johnson on the tackle.
It really is critical for Boston College. They've got to keep this game tight. You don't want it to start leaking away from you because, as mentioned, you know, this offense for Missouri, the starters, they've only played 4 offensive possessions in the second half of games this year.
And Cook keeps it this time, following Jordan Harris, and he gets up to the 30. Ezaraku with the tackle, and it's third down.
Well defended. You know, that's twice now where we've seen Brady Cook end up with the ball in his hands in the run game Boston College, well schooled on that. Both times able to shut him down.
Tigers are 2 for 5 on 3rd down today as Cook comes up to the line. Brady across the middle. It's an easy pitch and catch for a 1st down to the man that has the most catches for Mizzou, Theo Weiss.
Just too easy. You know, you saw Luther Burden move in motion. Bracketing him in the coverage. Weiss is wide open over the middle of the formation. Far and away, they've got him involved in the passing game. That is more than enough to garner the attention of a defense.
Already 19 catches on the season and 13 alone in the last game against Buffalo. Back to the ground, and Noel gets a few more. You know, last year Cook threw for over 3,000 yards, and Burden had over 1,000 yards receiving. But Cody Schrader set a school record with 1,627 yards. And the big question was, who's going to fill his shoes?
Right.
Well, it's been 2 people. It's been Noel and Carroll so far in these first 3 games of the year, and they've been about as effective as Cody was. Nate again. Nice tackle there. Open field one by Davion Crouch, Alyssa.
My favorite parts of the meeting yesterday was Coach Drinkwitz talking to us about Nate and Marcus and how there's no jealousy at all in that room. It's healthy competition, so much so week 1 they both score a touchdown, come to the sideline, said, "Can you believe we're here?"
3rd and 4 out of the backfield. It's Burden. Burden's still in bounds. They can't tackle him. Finally down near the 15. Crouch made a touchdown saving tackle. But Burden on a little wheel route on what looked like maybe a 5-10 yard play, instead gets 38.
You see Missouri quick over the ball, trapping the defensive personnel on the field.
And now running another play, it's Noel, and he gets down to the 10-yard line.
You see Burden out there in the flats on his own. Nice blocking downfield. We talked about it earlier on his touchdown catch. It's a run after the catch that's so dangerous. He is not only an excellent receiver, but nearly a running back as well with the ball in his hands.
First 9 quarters of the year, we sort of wondered, where is he? Well, he has 5 catches in the last 2 quarters for over 100 yards. Nate is down at the 6.
Noel, the ball carrier.
3rd down from there, and this is a down where Cook has been looking a lot for Luther, but he's not in the game on this 3rd down here.
Getting this low red zone area, they sub in one of their big tight ends, Big Jordan Harris, with the bigger personnel.
It's Mookie Cooper and Theo Weiss to the top of your screen, and Jamal Roberts is behind Cook here in what they call pistol set. And Cook will follow Roberts. Still up, and he's in! Let Brady cook.
How about let Brady cut? Watch this. Great job by Amari Jackson setting the edge. They over pursue. Can't quite get him on the ground. What a great cut up and in.
We've talked so much about Cook as a passer. That is Brady's 18th rushing touchdown in his last 21 games. Brady Cook is a dual threat in college football, and his Missouri Tigers are up 10 on Boston College at home here in Como. ...21 unanswered points for Brady Cook and the Missouri Tigers. Does have a little cut on his elbow, but seems like he's fine. And got to give a lot of credit to that Mizzou defense, too. They've bottled up the Boston College rushing attack so far today, Stinch.
Yeah, they got to get that going. You know, they've got 49 rushing yards on the game. Only 4 of those came in the second quarter. So you get out in this start of the second half, you got to make sure that you're rocking and rolling. They don't have the services of their right guard, Jack Conley.
Well, they haven't, but believe he has not been out there yet, so right guard still missing him. Thought we might see him again, but Robichaux gets up to the 30-yard line.
This is the power play that they've tried to get going. You know, their comfort zone has to be, as you see Alec now subbing out, and Conley is now in. So now you've got what you started the game with, and Jack Conley in at right guard. He's just had a pretty productive run on that power play on first down.
2nd and 6, Robichaux, no chance. Game tackled first by Johnny Walker.
A great job again by Christian Williams as well. He's just done an excellent job of getting upfield. Walker gets the tackle, but Williams makes the play. The right side of that Missouri defensive front does a great job of getting penetration right now. And this is like we talked about. So Boston College got bailed out on their third down and obvious. The passing scenarios. Does Missouri choose to try to pressure Castellanos?
Plenty of time, and he throws incomplete. Good one-on-one battle between Dalen Carnell and Jaden Skeet. And Carnell wins it, 4th down.
See, it looked like he had an opportunity with Lewis Bond on the over route. Wow. Bit of contact before Skeet laid out for that throw. We saw a couple of no calls as well that go the other way.
Ivan Zavinko gets to punt to that man, Luther Burton. Two of them back there at the 31-yard line. Dancing, and down at the 34 is Burton. Mizzou is on a roll, up 10 with the ball.
Dory Noka in studio. Time for your AT&T studio update. We go to Columbia, South Carolina, where Caden Durham just battling his way in for LSU. 5-play drive. They're within 2 after failing to get the 2, guys.
Good to have you here, Dari. ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. Well, there's Greg Sankey, who is the SEC commissioner, of course, and he's here watching the Missouri Tigers play Boston College today. Enjoyed eating barbecue with him last night, and he was talking about his brother William, who teaches on Lanai in Hawaii, is a longtime science teacher out there. So let's give him a shout out as our teacher this week. Marcus Carroll there on the run.
It runs in the Sankey family, right? They're kind of all in that education space. One's doing it from a more sports-oriented perch.
And as Greg pointed out, Williams' resting heart rate is slightly lower than Greg's.
Yeah.
Living on Lanai.
I would imagine, yeah. Maybe 100 students to deal with. Several thousand for Greg. Big possession here. And you say there's a lot of football left to play based on where Boston College is offensively.
Carroll. He gets up near the 42-yard line. It's hard to sort of tell the difference between these two backs, Noel and Carroll. Coach Drinkwitz and offense coordinator Kirby Moore said we can use each of them to do the same thing, and whoever sort of has the hot hand is who we will go with. But Noel takes the first 2 drives of the game, then Carroll takes the next 2, and then after that they sort of decide who's fresh. on a 3rd and 3 on a slant for a first down to Weiss.
They do complement one another really well. Carroll, a little bit more of a downhill runner, 20 pounds heavier than Noel. So the play calling is a little bit more north-south with him in there.
And now it's Carroll. Might have lost half a yard on that play. George Rooks, redshirt junior from Jersey City, New Jersey. Came over from Michigan last year on the tackle.
BC with an opportunity, right? So you got 2nd and 10. You want to try to win this series if you can. Offense, even if you get a stop here with likely poor field position.
Cook, first time he's been sacked today. Ezeraku got him.
Ezeraku multiple times has been able to move Brady Cook off his spot to affect the passer. Had a hit on the quarterback in the first half, and this time, great job with that edge rush on Marcus Bryant. Just get done talking about you 2nd and 10 plus. Ezeraku, an edge defender, Boston College pretty high on. You can see why. Can shorten that corner.
It's the first sack the Mizzou offense has given up this season. All day for Cook. Underneath incomplete. Everybody was covered up, including Brett Norfleet.
That time they bring 3-play coverage. Did Boston College defensively. Got the stop that they needed. You can't afford, you come out, you've already lost that middle quarter, the swing 8, as Alyssa pointed out, they refer to here at Missouri. Missouri got the field goal at the end of the half. You come out, march right down the field with a touchdown. You got to stem the tide. Boston College defense answering the bell.
And now the Bauer punt. Fielded at the 14, and Martinez should have put a hand up. Rice steal. That was Johnson on the hit. And Boston College gets the ball back. Boston College was once up 11, now they're down 10, Stinch. What changed?
Well, they stopped moving the football, especially on the ground. They never really got it going great, but they were able to make some plays in the passing game. Castellanos extended plays, found targets downfield. They got gifted the big play to Harris. They got to get that ground game going.
Castellanos flips it out, and it's Bond, and Lewis will get up to the 19-yard line. Coach O'Brien loved taking this appointment to be the head coach at BC. We talked about it earlier, it being his dream school. He grew up a big BC fan in Andover in Essex County, just about 30 miles away from Chestnut Hill. His wife, Colleen, went to Boston College. They're BC people. Brought his offensive coordinator, Will Lawing, with him. Lawing has followed Coach O'Brien all over the place in the last decade plus. And they have utilized Castellanos' skills like this play and that last-second toss to Ward. And it's a first down, but there is a flag down. Still Lawing with him. Lawing has followed Coach O'Brien all over the place in the last decade plus. And they have utilized Castellanos' skills like this play and that last-second toss to Ward. And it's a first down, but there is a flag down.
Really well-designed football play, but I'm wondering if it's a forward pitch.
Illegal forward pass. Offense number 1, completely beyond the line of scrimmage. The 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul also includes a loss of down. Third down.
Wow.
It's a great option play, but Ward was too far in front of him when he did it.
So watch where this ball goes. Past the line of scrimmage there. Yeah, great call by the official. All over it. Seemed like it was perfectly timed. Instead, now you've got a 3rd and long. Once again, we've seen a couple of QB draws attempted. We have not seen any screens. They were able to hit several of those versus FSU.
Timeout O'Brien.
Yeah. You know, part of that's been because Missouri has not been consistently bringing pressure. You have not seen that. We talked to Corey Batoon, the defensive coordinator. He said, I got to be smart about that. We got to have layers to our defense. Otherwise, number one, the quarterback can get loose and burn us.
Our Week 3 SEC football lineup continues today at 4:15 Eastern. Arkansas Razorbacks after the close call against Oklahoma State. They host UAB. And then tonight, 7th-ranked Tennessee and Nico Iamaleava host Kent State in Knoxville at 7:45. You can find live sports with Where to Watch only on the ESPN app and ESPN.com, the ultimate viewing guide to live sports. If you have not seen Nico at quarterback yet for the Vols, you're in for a treat tonight.
That guy is talented, isn't he? I mean, unbelievable. A big, tall version that's also a dual threat of these two quarterbacks, right, that we've seen here today. Missouri's done an excellent job of bottling up Tommy Castellanos to see if they're able to affect him again. They're showing pressure.
Standing there, surveying, throwing, first down. Jeremiah Franklin found a soft spot for his 2nd catch of the year.
Show pressure, drop 8. Only rush 3. The offensive front largely is held up, even versus 4- and 5-man rushes. Castellanos, who the Missouri coaches said, look, this guy's pretty much 1 or 2 reads and he's gone. This time he's had to be patient. They are cage rushing him, keeping him in the pocket.
Robichaux will get a couple of yards as he runs forward. My entire family makes fun of me for everything, but one of the things to make fun of me for is on Sunday Night Football, I love to hear where all the players went to college, and the over-under on a Boston College offensive lineman being announced is like at least 1.5 per game. And you get the feeling watching these guys that that trend will continue with the Jack Conleys of the world.
Got some big bodies. You know, Ozzie Trapillo as well, right tackle, looks the part.
Castellanos is in trouble and they got him. First time today, it's Cameron Keys. And Khalil Jacobs.
Great job getting upfield. He ends up trapping him. He's trying to get outside. Instead, they're able to pressure inside out. Eddie Kelly Jr. as well is able to get upfield, waiting on that boot action.
Jacobs, the junior from Niceville, Florida, by way of South Alabama, getting home there.
Got to be smart here. Think about it, you got behind the sticks. It's what led to the interception. Don't get greedy. Crowd noise. The whole offensive front was moving. Drew Kendall was not ready to snap the football.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Rocking out over on the old rock M. They've all chosen to sit on those rocks. They say it's worth it. A lot of grass available, whatever. A great view of their defense keeps forcing the Eagles further and further back.
Speaking of great view, they have an impressive new building that's going to be built there. On 3rd and 22, just try to make some Mizzou Tigers miss, but Bond isn't going to be able to do much of it. Just gets up to the 25. McClellan on the tackle.
Punt this football away. Trying to play defense. Great job by the Missouri defense once again. They've come out here in the second half with their ears pinned back. Great job. Once again, we talk about bottling up Castellanos. They've done a really good job of that, keeping him in the pocket, even when by design they're trying to get him on the edge.
3rd straight punt for BC. Zavinko on the low snap gets it off, but off the side of his foot. And Missouri get the ball back up 24-14. Keep looking around the country at what else is going on. I know all of you are flipping around just like we do. We look at the ESPN app throughout the game. Alabama beating Wisconsin 42-10 today. SEC football final will go over all this tonight with Dari, Chris, and Benjamin. Talk you through the biggest stories of the day, break down all the games. That's at 11 Eastern or whenever. Tennessee and Kent State are over. LSU just took the lead on South Carolina, 29-24 to start the fourth quarter. And Memphis still leads FSU, 20-12 over on ESPN. 6 minutes left there. Cook dealing to Mookie. 22 more.
Was open by 5 yards. Mookie Cooper. You see Brady Cook. I mean, he could wait. He could have waited another 2 beats to unload that football.
Cook still has it. Gets it out to Burden, but it hit the ground. Incomplete.
That time brought pressure from the edge. Sione Hala with the pressure on Cook. Flag came out. Yeah, this is probably going to be an unsportsmanlike on Luther Burden. I don't know what he's doing. Like he snatched the mouthpiece off of Cedarius McConnell. Did it right there in front of the official.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 3. His first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. 15-yard penalty, down counts in the second down.
So watch Burden, watch him reach up, grab that mouthpiece. Looks like they both, see what they missed. It's always the second guy, right?
Always.
Darius McConnell looked like he had burdens.
Something tells me Coach
sure did.
Drinkwitz
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, listen. He actually grabbed that mouthpiece. It's a mouthpiece exchange.
On 2nd and 25 after the penalty, Cook back to work. Gets all that yardage back. Joshua Manning with the catch. Stepped out at the 30. It's a pickup of 23. But there's another flag down.
Ineligible play downfield on the pass. Offense number 74. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Cameron Johnson's back at right guard today. So it negates that big gain.
Got the Missouri offense a couple times now with that call. The penalties continue to pile up for Missouri.
That's 23 on the season, 6 today. So now it's 2nd and 30. Here's the quick throw to Burden. Let him create. Good luck getting him on the ground. And here come more flags.
Yeah, it looks likely a call a block in the back. Say a blindside block.
That back judge had a cannon for an arm when he threw that flag.
See him warming up earlier. He did throw that flag a good about 30 yards.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one during the play and one after the play. Personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense number 10. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 3. That penalty will also be enforced.
Wow.
Second down.
That's 30 yards in penalties. We're saying illegal. You know. Let's see where the. Oh yeah, threw the football. Threw that football late. Right in Max Tucker's face.
How was
again, right in front of the official.
So the first foul on Burden on this drive was called an unsportsmanlike penalty. That one was not, but it was called a personal foul, which allows Burden
Yeah, unnecessary roughness instead of unsportsmanlike conduct, which for Missouri, as upset as they are.
Can this be right on our screen? At the bottom right, can you circle the down and distance for everyone right now? Is this correct?
Do not adjust your sets.
And they'll run it on 2nd and 59. And there goes Noel, and he gets back a big chunk of it up to the 38-yard line. That's a pickup of 25 on 2nd and 59. And there are no flags on the field. At the end of the third quarter, Mizzou leads Boston College 24-14. We'll hear from Coach Eli Drinkwitz after he has a discussion with Mike Roach, the referee, in just a moment. Missouri up 10, headed to the final frame at home in Columbia. Coach Drinkwitz is coming to talk to Alyssa right now, but he first needs to tell Luther Burden a few things. And now he's ready with Alyssa.
Coach, how do you keep your team poised after those penalties?
We got to just focus on this play. Just focus on this play. Let me worry about the officials. Execute this play.
Thank you, Coach.
MIC.
And on that 3rd and 34, Missouri just runs it with Nate Noel, and Noel didn't get much there, so it will be 4th down. There were 48 yards of penalties on this possession.
And I will say the 2nd down play to pick up 25 yards is huge because you're able to at least advance the ball to near midfield. Field position alone. That 2nd down play was immense. It allowed Missouri to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
Luke Bauer punting, and there's a flag down as this goes off the side of his foot.
Legal formation, kicking team, more than 4 plays in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. It'll be BC football, 1st down.
Mike Roche has been a busy man, the referee today for this ACC officiating crew. That is the 8th penalty committed or accepted, I guess I should say, by Boston College that Missouri has committed today. And BC has the ball at their own 35. But Boston College has had their own issues with penalties, especially on the last drive. An illegal forward pass stalled all of their efforts.
On what was otherwise a really productive option play. Big Dwayne Alec back in there at right guard.
And the give to Ward only yields a few. Up to the 37, where Trevez Johnson had the interception earlier, makes the tackle.
Well defended there. That play, Boston College ran about 5 times versus FSU. It was quiet the first couple of runs, and then they were able to break a couple. The challenge that they've had here is that they haven't been able to establish anything off of it. Their ground game has been incredibly quiet. Missouri defense has done an excellent job at clogging up those rush lanes.
Sack yardage goes with rush yardage total, so they only have 37 now. Castellanos able to get out of there and throw against his body, incomplete. He had a man down there, it was Ward. It was too high for him, 3rd down.
It does seem as if in this game, Castellanos, it's like he's hanging in the pocket one beat longer. Now credit the Missouri rush, because you watch their defensive end, they're not getting past the depth of the quarterback. You got to rush to his level so that he can't escape up and through the pocket.
Looked like he might have been trying to get that to Skeet, but Ward just was the receiver in the way there. 3rd and 8. Castellanos in trouble, throws, and again it's intercepted. He underthrew it, and Drayton Norwood was there to grab it. That's Norwood's first interception of the season.
He was just too late seeing it. Did a good job of extending the play, but just didn't get the ball downfield early enough. Norwood gets underneath that, and now the second interception. You see the pressure right up the middle by McClellan. That ball just doesn't have enough juice on it. Missouri, the defense stepping up big. Great opportunity for the offense to capitalize.
What a day to be in Columbia, Missouri, and watch the Tigers battle the Eagles. 9th straight sellout here for the 6th-ranked team in the country. And Noel runs it up to the 42. Gets a couple of yards. Beautiful weather today, great crowd in this 11:45 local kick. It's the longest sellout streak since 1979. Missouri goes quickly, and Noel doesn't get anything there. As Ezaraku, who's had a good game today, gets him again. It'll be 3rd down. This number 6 ranking for Missouri, Stinch, is the best position that Mizzou has been in the Associated Press poll in over a decade.
You see, part of this, I think, is momentum from last year, that 11-2 campaign, and dispatching their first 2 opponents so handily. A couple of shutouts.
3rd and 7. Cook, complete to Cooper, who's come up big, moving the chains today. That's 16 more.
Great pocket for Brady Cook that time. Able to get that ball downfield. Look at that, nice wide pocket, step into the throw. Cooper.
As he has 86 career catches now, Stinch, but he hadn't have a touchdown since 2021. Marcus Carroll on these fresh set of downs will get it now. As Coach Drinkwitz tries to use some clock. Going back to the poll, the Associated Press poll has no influence over what your college football playoff ranking will be later in the season, but it's sort of wild to see 6 SEC teams in the top 7 in the rankings.
First time ever. If you're going to expand and get some good teams. Boy, have they. Boy, Texas has ascended just in time to join the Southeastern Conference.
I know we have a lot of ACC viewers today. I don't know how Miami wouldn't be in the top 7 right now.
Great point.
Carroll gets down near the 36. BC's had a good start to the season as well. Keeping an eye on what's going on in some other matchups across the country. Memphis leads FSU 20-12 with under 2 minutes to go and the ball.
Wow.
The Noles are a couple minutes away from 0-3.
You talk about collapse. That is something. Start this season the way that they have.
This is a 3rd and 4 with Roberts, the 3rd down back next to Cook. Line holds up, Brady gets rid of it. Oh, he just overshoots Burton for a touchdown.
And he had it. We have seen this repeatedly this year. This still eludes the Missouri offense. It's a deep ball accuracy just beyond the outstretched arm of Luther Burton. You can see we got the offense on the field with 4th down.
Well, we've already seen Craig make a kick from this region, but they're going to go for it this time on 4th and 4. No Burden on the field. instead. They'll just let the play clock run out.
Before the delay of game foul timeout, Missouri. That's their first of the half.
And we'll take it with them with 10:33 to go. There's only 2 seconds left on the play clock.
Delay of game.
Wow.
Unbelievable that you get a delay of game in that scenario.
Mevis has a cannon for a leg, but he's never attempted a 61-yarder. Mevis kick on the way. It's good! Missouri wins it on a 61-yard walk-off field goal by Harrison Mevis. Blake Craig just made one earlier in the game to end the first half from 56 that would have been good for 61. The ball's on the 37-yard line right now, and Eli Drinkwitz still has his offense on the field. So on this 4th down right here, they'll keep Brady Cook out there. Never forget that feeling that day. Cook tried to squeeze it in there, and there's the flag. A couple of them. Curry Johnson was all over Daniel Blood.
Boston College elected to pressure right there.
Pass interference, defense number 13. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Curry Johnson has played against Mizzou 3 times. Used to play for Arkansas. Big penalty here for Boston College.
Yeah, good call by the official. Definitely early. That time, Eagles thought they out. I mean, Brady Cook unloaded that just in time. He had pressure right in his face.
And now on a fresh set of downs, Mizzou will snap this one from the 32. Cook. Catch made at the 26 by Marquise Johnson.
It kind of felt like kind of an early whistle. I don't know that he was still trying to wrestle his way out of that, and ultimately did. Surprised that play got whistled dead as quickly as it did. Regardless, Marquise Johnson's a guy they're trying to get going. Probably the fastest player on the Missouri Tiger roster.
Amari Jackson was in coverage there. 2nd and 5. Back to the ground with Noel. And he slips on the turf at the 26 right in front of Cam Arnold. 3rd down.
Boston College has got a good football player in Cam Arnold. We've called his name repeatedly. He's done an excellent job from his linebacker post.
He was the defensive MVP of the Fenway Bowl. Top returning tackler from last year. 37th career start today. The graduate player from Bloomfield, Michigan.
Yeah, he gets downhill well. He's got good range. As we mentioned, they've needed him. He's got the game high. 8 tackles this afternoon.
On 3rd and 4. Here goes Burden. Instead of give it to Norfleet. Good tackle made to prevent the first down.
Carter Davis.
At the 24-yard line by Carter Davis. And a great play design by Kirby Moore.
Yeah, it's just a heck of a play by Davis, because you're right. Everybody's thinking it's a tap pass to Burden, and Mizzou says, we'll stay out. 2-possession ball game with 8:43 to play. Last time they drew the defensive pass interference, Boston College brought pressure, but they've got the heavy horse. Heavy formation on this one.
Fake to Carroll, throw, first down to Weiss. And out of bounds inside the 20, inside the 18.
How about that? So you bring in a heavy formation, pull the defense in, force them to condense, and then get a receiver out on the edge. Theo Weiss in motion. It's an easy pitch and catch. Nothing crazy exotic about that by Kirby Moore. It's a smart play calling right there.
It sure is. Carroll is behind Cook, and Marcus gets it and goes down inside the 13. Kirby Moore, who's at the top of your screen without the hat, the brown hair, talking into that in that walkie-talkie to Brady Cook right now, the second-year offensive coordinator, former Boise State standout wide receiver, catching passes from his brother Kellen, who is now the offense coordinator of the Eagles. And evidently the two of them are still talking ball, and Kirby evidently says that Kellen is stealing some of his plays now. And on that Wildcat snap, Noel goes down to the 12. Steve Turnberger, our director's Philadelphia Eagles play on Monday Night Football this week. And Kirby's wife, Kayla, she accused Kellen of stealing some of Kirby's plays.
Was it an accusation or an observation?
You're correct. It was an observation.
She was like, hey, you know what I noticed? I noticed, incidentally, on that previous play, Brady Cook did something he doesn't normally do. He's under center. Run an old school toss.
3rd and 4, he fakes the toss and he runs into an offensive lineman.
Caden Green, give him the tackle.
His left guard was out there pulling.
Deep on this pull, pulling from his left guard position. See, he's trying to get upfield on Ukpala, who shot upfield. You really don't have to. That guy kind of blocks himself.
Ukpala then celebrated a tackle he did not make.
But indirectly caused. I don't know how that shows up in the stat line.
31-yard attempt here for Craig. And it's good. He's had a great day. And Mizzou's lead is 13 with 5:58 to go in the ball game in Columbia.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Rock is staying there, Stinch, the M around the grass. But right above it, you're going to have a beautiful looking finish to that end zone here at Faurot Field. That is in the works right now as Boston College will get it at the 25-yard line for the rest of this year. Mizzou next Saturday afternoon host Vanderbilt. That game time will be determined tomorrow. And it's the 4th straight home game to start the year, then a bye, and then you go on the road in 3 weeks at Texas A&M. You see the game at UMass on the road, and they're at Alabama on October 26th. And at the Oklahoma game on November 9th, they are playing OU for the 97th time, but the first time in 13 years. Old Mizzou fans will remember what they used to call that game, the peace pipe. Oh, Dalen Carnell is beside himself because Thomas Castellanos threw it right to him.
Ball was behind Lewis Bond. Just came out throwing on this possession. Carnell, nearly breaks in front of that throw.
Castellanos just 12 of 23 passing. BC only has 13 yards total in the second half. And that's incomplete. He was out of bounds, Ward was.
And they just can't get anything going. Really, when you think about it, other than that kind of fluky play on the 3rd possession of the game, offense has not done much. Even the opening drive was extended by penalties. You get down late in the game, 2 possessions, and you're almost having to throw the football.
Castellanos, flush, throws, caught in Mizzou territory by Lewis Bond. What a grab. 27 yards.
Wow. You open up the series with a bad ball, and then on the run, dead run. A perfectly thrown pass, just enough room to corral that before going out of bounds.
And another catch made at the 45-yard line. Pass complete. Cameron Keys, Khalil Jacobs. We have 2 29s for Missouri that both play, so it gets a little confusing at times.
Man, that's left tackle Jude Bowery.
Timeout on the field for an injured player.
A little bit banged up right there on the logo. He was trying to hop his way back to the line of scrimmage. Bad idea. Go down. See the big man really laboring.
Read and React with Cole Kublik and Roman Harper is back for another year. Each week, they'll take a look back at the biggest plays, players, and games from the weekend. The season premiere is Monday night at 7 Eastern right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Robichaux made the catch on that last completion, and it was Khalil Jacobs on the tackle. This time, a catch made by Kamari Morales, but nothing doing there as he was covered up by Norwood. Third down.
Norwood all over it. Got to be smart right here. Have to substitute a new left tackle, Kevin Klein, in for Jude Bowery, who just left with an injury.
On 3rd and 6, Castellanos avoids 2 tacklers, stays on his feet, but he's short of the first down. It was Jacobs that made the tackle. It's 4th down.
Jacobs was the spy on that one. He rushed forward, but Jacobs has got the quarterback. He did a great job showing speed to track down Castellanos just shy of the first. A 4th and short. A gut check for the Eagles offense.
Castellanos on the option, keeps it 1st down.
It's the option concept. We've seen that a couple of times in this game. Really, this isn't their mode. This is usually a huddle offense. This up-tempo also outside.
Castellanos has a man open. It's Kamari Morales, touchdown. Morales for a 38-yard touchdown. He leads North Carolina Tar Heels all time in touchdowns by a tight end with 10. And he has his 2nd as a BC Eagle.
How about that for an answer? We just got done saying the offense hasn't been able to do anything. They march right down the field.
A lot of BC people now are cheering for Drake May as a Patriot. May loved throwing the ball to Morales at North Carolina. And Lombardo makes it a 6-point game with 3:45 to go.
Here's Morales right here at the end of the line. He's going to release right up the field. You got eyes in the backfield. It was Marvin Burks, who was also involved in the Reed Harris touchdown, just gets his eyes stuck in the backfield. Morales ran right by him. Easy throw for Castellanos, and it's a 1-possession ball game. You're sitting there thinking the start of that possession, they come out throwing, you lose your starting left tackle. They're able to work their way all the way down the field. It's a huge answering drive for Boston College to climb back into this game.
We showed you Missouri's schedule. Boston College, of course, playing in the Atlantic Coast Conference. We'll see how strong the conference is, how many ranked teams they have to face this year. But as it stands right now, this is the toughest challenge by ranking they have all year. This game today, and they fought Mizzou for 4 quarters. Boston College does have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute stoppage. Brady Cook will try to move the chains a couple of times to put this one away.
The BC defense has been able to stiffen. They came out here in the 3rd quarter. They gave up that touchdown march. 9 plays, 75 yards, but then they forced back-to-back punts. That field goal, see if they can't get yet another stop. And Missouri, of course, seeking to salt this game away.
Cook hands it off. Noel is greeted immediately by Sheoni Hala. And they're going to let it run here and try to preserve those timeouts in the 2-minute timeout.
Boston College still has those 2 timeouts as well. See what they do. They force a 3rd down here.
Noel trying the right side again, not getting much. And Horsley on the tackle. And again, Coach O'Brien's going to let that clock run.
Hang on to those 2 timeouts. See, right here on a 3rd down, a 3rd and long, no less. You see him monitoring that clock as it leaks down. That's a lot of time.
On 3rd and 7, Cook throws. Catch made, first down, Mizzou. It's Burden went up the ladder to get it. And now the 2-minute timeout would stop things. And then Coach O'Brien has to use them.
Which, of course, Missouri is going to wait. Losing almost a full minute north of that on that one play. Obviously a conversion.
27-21, Mizzou trying to put this game away with the football. The Tigers trying to improve to 3-0, but BC's not done yet. Eli Drinkwitz for Missouri on the right, Bill O'Brien for Boston College on the left. Both coaches expected a 4-quarter fight today, and we did too. That's what we're getting here at Como. But Boston College must use these timeouts and stop Missouri if they want to get the ball back and have a chance. On 1st down, Carroll gets up to the 45-yard line.
There's a timeout from O'Brien.
Boston College takes its 2nd timeout of the half. Please just hit the game clock to 1 minute and 55 seconds. 1:55. Thank you.
And just while we have a second, that number on Bryce Keith Brown's chest makes all Boston College fans think of a hero. 23 years and 3 days ago, a man wearing a red bandana was on the 78th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center during a terrorist attack. And that man saved approximately 12 lives, helping victims escape the wreckage and guiding them down 17 flights of stairs to safety. And then Wells Crowther went back up and helped a number of others escape an unspeakable situation. And although Crowther never made it back down, he spent the last minutes of his life as a hero, as a firefighter, saving life after life. Wells Crowther went to Boston College and wore number 19 for the Eagles for their lacrosse team. And meanwhile, the football team celebrates him with the red bandana game each year, and that's next Saturday in Chestnut Hill against Michigan State. And he will never, ever be forgotten. His alma mater is fighting their hearts out to try to get the ball back as Carroll runs it again, and Coach O'Brien uses his last timeout.
Final timeout of the half, your full timeout.
And Missouri will have a 3rd and 1.
Sell out to try to get this stop right here, although we've seen it, what happened earlier. Missouri condenses that formation. They're able to leak Theo Weiss out into the flat for an easy completion. Might have been too little too late from the Boston College offense when they marched right down the field with the passing go.
So Stinch, Missouri's 10 of 18 on 3rd down, and they're 1 of 1 on 4th down. How do you get off the field if you're Boston College here?
I think more than anything else, what we've seen, they're going to put Marcus Carroll in that backfield for Missouri, more than likely. He is the one that's the more downhill of the runners. But the other is, and we've seen this today, Brady Cook in the run game. Boston College has done a really good job of stopping that QB design run. That's the concern that you have. And it's been number 5 that's done such an excellent job in both elements.
Here's the ball game right here.
You got an extra offensive lineman in there from Missouri. Big Mitchell Walters.
On 3rd and 2, it's Cook. Keeps it and wins it. He faked a bunch of BC Eagle defenders out, took it out of Marcus Carroll's belly and kept it. And his wheels are a big reason why Missouri's about to be 3-0.
That's what you expect, right? Get the big back in there, you got to respect that. You got the extra old lineman, but you also got that quarterback. He creates that extra gap, that extra offensive player that you have to defend. Brady Cook, we talked about, have they been overly explosive offensively? Nope, they've just been good enough to win.
Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance, the 264 yards passing and the touchdown, but also Cook, while he only ran it for 6 yards, he had a touchdown run on the ground too, and a first down conversion to put the game away.
We were talking with Coach Drinkwitz. He said, we don't need a celebrity QB. We need a guy to get up there and make the plays we need and manage the game. And he did that.
Tremendous respect for what Bill O'Brien and Boston College is building. This program through 3 games is close and will fight in the ACC for a title this year. But meanwhile, Missouri now has won 19 straight at home versus non-conference opponents. That dates back to 2017, and that's the longest streak in school history.
Well, they had high hopes coming into this season off that 11-win campaign. The polls reflected it, but we all had question marks. They had question marks, did Missouri. They came out and found a way to win. Started slow in this game, gifted their opponent opportunities, stayed battling. They were able to win that swing 8 in the middle of the game and come away with a victory.
Alyssa's with Coach Drinkwitz.
Coach, a lot of adversity through 4 quarters. What does it mean and how important is it for this group to have won a fight like this one?
Yeah, we learned a lot about our team today. A lot of sloppy play, but there's a lot of resolve there. A bunch of busts, a bunch of bad stuff. But the bottom line is we finished 1-0, and now we go back to the drawing board about how to get better.
How'd you think Brady did running the offense today?
Yeah, what an unbelievable job in the 4th quarter. Him and Luther, obviously, in critical situations, they executed, which is what you got to have.
2 turnovers for your defense. How would you evaluate the way Coach Batoon and that group adjusted to this quarterback?
Yeah, if y'all only knew the busts, the 3 plays are complete busts that we got to take off the tape. I thought they did an excellent job responding.
Thank you, guys. Only 91 total yards for Boston College in the second half of that game. And Brady Cook puts it away. Sean, Bergs, Jen, Jason, Russ, Kevin. We've got a team, don't we? For Matt Stinchcomb and Alyssa Lang, I'm Taylor Zarzer. What a game today at Faurot Field. Missouri hangs on and beats Boston College 27-21. Arkansas and UAB's coming up in a little while, but for now, we send you back to the studio.